Have you ever wondered what makes bodies tick? Are you creating the sexual reality you desire and require? Would you like to know more about what else is possible with bodies? What if your fantasies are not as strange as you thought they were? What if you could learn to be kinder to your body and kinder to others' bodies? Would you like to create confidence in the bedroom and beyond? How has your sex life or lack of it affected other areas of your life? Have you lost your mojo and wondered where to find it? Everyone has the potency to be a sexual superhero. Get ready to listen, sense, and play with the sexualness that is you. Now, here is the host of The Pleasure Zone, Body Whisperer, Milica Jelenic.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic. I know you guys are super excited about today's topic, oil, lube, and filter, because who isn't excited to go get their oil, lube, and filter job done? You know, driving around, you got your 5,000 to 7,000 Ks on that vehicle, and your vehicle is just like, come on, give me a oil job. And when you do, everything runs so much better, right? It's like where we actually forgot that our bodies are like wicked-ass machines that have, you know, consciousness of them, and maybe they need a little bit of oil, lube jobs too. We'll talk about the filter part if we have time, but really I think that has more to do with how we filter our thoughts, feelings, and emotions so that we can actually have more space with everything. By filtering them, I mean like chuck them out the window. So that was really easy. That's filter. So for those of you who are brand new to this show, welcome. You have entered the world of crazy, and I congratulate you, and I'm thrilled to have you here. On this show, we discuss many varying topics related to pleasure, mostly related to copulation, bodies, sensuality, sexuality, joy of movement, joy of embodiment. If you are listening and you've got tiny wee children in the room, congratulations, they're getting an early education. If you have them in the room and you'd like to remove them from the room, feel free to do so. I think my daughter hears this kind of conversation all the time, so I don't really have a point of view about what age listens to this show or doesn't. Just know I randomly swear. That happens. So more than often, actually. But I really welcome all of you to be here kind of listening. This show can be educational. It can be fun, playful, and a lot of what I do with my work in the world is that I love watching people have more ease in their bodies, in their life, more joy of embodiment. And so a lot of what I offer is that, people will come show up in my life and there might be something going on that, isn't quite working for them. And body movement, energy work, and different types of energy clearings, things start to change. One of the areas that I have found throughout the years that people are really comfortable talking with me about is their sex life. So even though I'm not technically a sex therapist, I do a lot of work assisting people with having more joy in their sex lives too. So thank you for everybody who is listening, who has come to me for sessions. And if you're like, hey, I didn't have one of those sessions, no, not everybody does, but a majority of people do. So that's cool. How'd they get so lucky, right? So tonight's topic, this is funny, a lot of what we've got, stepping into actually copulating with another body is there's a level of arousal that's required in order for copulation to take place, not just on the men's part, but on the woman's part as well. And for women, either natural lubrication or alternate lubrication that is not from your body is required. There are so many forms of lubrication. So let's start with the natural lubrication. Your body actually can create natural lubrication. I think this is what everybody wants to know on the show, right? Like this information that I'm about to tell you is what everybody wants to know. That I believe, looking back, that I've actually had natural lubrication pretty much my whole life. Definitely not a girl who could say that I have a dry problem, like ever. So sometimes it's just really high up inside me, and I just like move a little bit, and then bam, lubrication. It's all over the place. So that for me has been ease, mostly because I'm turned on by life and living, and a lot of things turn me on. So it's not. I'm highly responsive, as being said in the chat room. Yes, my body is highly responsive. Gets really aroused really easily. So I think like if I was a boy, I'd be like that teenage boy who gets an erection, even with the wind. I'm like that girl who gets wet even with like a breeze. Not to give too many details, but that actually happened today because I have a giant field and I can do things in my field where nobody sees me, and it's a wonderful thing. So it was a happy day for all involved. So why I'm talking about lube? Why is this a topic that we actually require discussion on? Part of it is I think there's a lack of information out there where sometimes, there's this assumption that if a woman is not aroused or wet, instead of arousing her body or having her ask her body, would this body be fun to play with? Would this body be expansive for me to play with? Would this body be fun and easy to play with? When you actually are coming from a place of consciousness and you're asking some questions of your body, first to see what is it that your body is not wet for, you might find that your body is really aware. And just like men, sometimes they will not get an erection when their body is so aware that, that other body might think that it desires a baby or desires spreading an STD of another kind. So how aware is your body is my question. And women, how aware is your body?
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer. It's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. If you had that little pause delay there, that was a little glitch on my part. Sorry about that. So thank you for sticking with us, and I'm glad you guys can hear me now. So before I went, I think the last thing I said was, let's talk to your bodies. And then it was like the whole universe went, what? And then all the connection dropped. So isn't that interesting? So how many times do we actually go to communicate with our bodies, and we go to this like space that's a total beyond, and then everything in our world just goes like wonky, and we can't actually communicate. So, when these things show up on the radio, I often have to go, wow, what's that all about? That's interesting. So what energy are we creating here? And so if you do find that, this is a new concept to you, like you can communicate with your body, I highly encourage you to read the book Right Body for You. It's an amazing book about communicating with your body. Sideline, if you'd really like to meet me in person, actually, you can come to a class in Toronto called Right Body for You in September 16th through 18th. That's a side note, because as I was about to talk about communicating with your body, all this showed up. So would love to see you guys at that class. So one of the things I would ask, though, ask your body. So before you assume that your body requires some kind of other lubrication other than your own lubrication, please ask your body, like, hey, body, do you desire lubrication? Would that be fun? Would it be easy? Would it be expansive and playful to use lubrication? Sometimes your body actually desires it. It could add a little fun. It could have a new sensation. So maybe your body's aware of something. I just really encourage you to, instead of always going to like an auto-responsive, oh, well, I haven't had any, stimulation, grab the lube, stick her in. Like, instead of doing any of that, communicate with your body. Maybe today is the day where your body's kind of going, I could really use some touch before we have any of this penetration. I could really use some foreplay, and then your body is naturally aroused anyway. So I'm all for having options, and I'm all for asking questions. So please ask questions, and please don't assume that your body is not functioning, because your body could be functioning to your advantage. Your body might know that it either desires copulation with this person or doesn't desire copulation with this person. It might be speaking with you. It might be actually saying to you, you know what, I'm not going to get lubricated this time because I really don't desire copulating with this person, whether, that person, it doesn't work for you. Maybe there's an unkindness. Maybe the energy's not matching. Maybe there's something like your body might be like fertile and it doesn't desire having carrying a baby right then, or you don't desire it, so there's a conflict between you and your body. So, your body is aware. So please ask your body if it actually requires additional lubrication, because it might and it might not. Again, it's not something to assume that just because you're doing something that you require lubrication. And there are a lot of people, too, that are huge advocates of if you're having anal sex that you require lubrication. Again, that's not always the case. As much as your anus doesn't have, neither does Venus or neither does Pluto, they don't have their own lubrication, but your anus can actually receive, and it depends on the angle you're at, but if you're playing in different positions sexually, if your body is really turned on as a woman, if your body's really turned on and you have a lot of lubrication vaginally, that lubrication can easily slide up to the anus and be used as a lubricant for the anus. So you can use vaginal lubrication on the anus too. It's not something that people talk a lot about, because a lot of people assume you've got to go for some other kind of lube, which is going to be more effective. So a lot of the ones that most people would go for would be either water-based or silicone-based lubes, because most people who are doing anal sex are preferring to use condoms. Not all, but most. And so in order to use condoms with any kind of lube, it would either have to be a water or a silicone base. The other kinds, oil-based lubricants, actually destroy condoms. So that's a little piece of information to be aware of. There are a lot of different kinds of what we would call oil-based lubricants, and some of them are even like on your shelf in your kitchen probably, but we'll get to that. So one of the questions too to ask your body, like, and in this conversation with your body, ladies, on lubrication, is to ask your body, if your body is going through something like breastfeeding or menopause or it's post-menopause, or even say if you're taking medication for something like depression or like ADHD, or you've had cancer, your body will start to do a lot of things on its own volition, and it'll change. So it's a great thing to ask it, for one, does it desire copulation at all? And it might not. And it's not a kindness to you, and it's not a kindness to your partner to just lie there and just be like, yeah, okay, give it to me, fine, we've got 7 minutes, just get this done. This is not kind to your partner, and it's not kind to you. So, I've been watching a lot of educational videos regarding like sex toys and lube and stuff for the last few weeks, because I recently joined an online, kind of like the Avon of sex toys, so it's called pureromance.ca. And you can find, if you're interested in products, you can go check out my page at pureromance.ca/MILICAJELENIC, so pureromance.ca/Milica Jelenic. So you can check out stuff there. But I've been doing a lot of research since I joined that company, and I've watched a lot of people do videos where they basically are saying, like, yeah, use this product because even if you don't want to have sex with somebody, this will arouse them and then you can just get the job done. I'm not an advocate of that. I'm an advocate for, if your body is turned on, what can actually increase the arousal, have even more fun. It's not about taking you from, I don't like this and I don't want to do this, to I'm forcing myself into doing something I don't like. That I'm not interested in getting you to do things you don't like. I'm interested in assisting you and facilitating you to be aware of what you do like, and you might not even be aware of what you do like, and to start to choose into having more fun and joy. So, you might find some information on the internet where it's like, oh yes, use this because, it's such a turn on that, you can be basically like cooking a meal while giving a hand job because, the guy's so turned on. I'm not about disconnecting from people during, fun and foreplay. I'm quite honored to get to play, so I'm there. I want to be there. I'm choosing it. It's not about, oh my God, let me stir the pot. I'm so busy. I'm too busy for you. That's not cool, right? So to me, that's not cool. So I'm not interested in facilitating that with you guys and trying to get you to use lubes to make your life sort of easier so that you comply with things, so that you don't honor your body. This is like, how do you enhance everything for you? Truly honor your body and your desires and what would be fun for you, and not put you into positions where you think, oh, it's a job and I have to do it, let me get this done. It's not that at all. And if it is that for you and you'd like to have a session to talk about it, to kind of work through that, feel free to contact me. You don't have to like sex, and you don't have to judge yourself for not liking it. And if you would like to like having sex, there are things you can do to start enjoying it. So know that you have lots of options, and please, whatever you do, don't judge you for whatever works for you. So if lubes work for you, awesome. If no lubes work for you, awesome. If saying, no, darling, my body is saying no right now, and honoring that in itself, I just feel like I've actually created something awesome on the planet when people start asking for what they desire and following through on it. If I could contribute to that and facilitate that, I'd be thrilled to actually know that is something that I'm a part of. So please honor your bodies. Very easy, right? So body, would you like to have lube? Body, would you like to copulate? Now, if your body is like, all indications are going, no, I wouldn't like to copulate, or if your mind is like, oh my God, I'm tired, and your body is super turned on, would you allow yourself to even just be present with the person and just really be present with your partner and their adoration for you, their admiration for you, and just receive from them energetically? I bet you your body will start to get turned on and lubricated. And if it doesn't, please don't judge it. There are options. If you still really would love to like have that nurturing experience with copulation, with receiving through sex, if you'd really desire that and your body just isn't like complying and your body's like, no, we're going to be dry like the Sahara Desert now. And you're like, no, please, I want to be slippery and wet. So if you're having this conflict with your body and you have the awareness that your body truly desires copulation, yet it's not giving you all the hints and clues to receive it, there are some options. And it can also, create a little extra lube here and there can create a little bit of fun too, because, why not? Just for a little fun. So some other than like making it a lot easier to slip a penis into a vagina, slip a penis into an anus or whatever, you can use the lubricant. Some of them are flavored. Those ones are usually probably water-based. So you can use the ones that are flavored for a little added fun, right? So if you'd like to have, a flavored blowjob, you can do that. There's all kinds of things you can do that can actually allow your body to have more fun. It's highly recommended, though, for women that if you are going to have copulation, if you are going to have, physical penetration, that your vagina is going to be, lubricated. You don't want it to be dry. It's actually really those tissues, the skin inside your vagina is meant to be, rubbed up against when it's wet. Otherwise, it can actually tear. So it can create some issues, and it can reduce the elasticity in your vaginal walls if you're having copulation when it's dry. So keep them lubricated, ladies. It's a lot nicer for your vaginal walls and for the skin in there. So there are, for those of you out there, so there are some things which would cause women to have pain in their vagina. Some women have endometriosis that actually causes pain for them, sometimes regularly, and sometimes it's also that they have a pain that is more like just during sex. So, there's stuff like like during their period, during sex. It can be not all the time, but frequently. And so there's endometriosis. There's something called vulvodynia also, which is something that creates a lot of pain for women who are having sex. So the vulva becomes painful. So for women who have that, there are actually several different lubricants. If you're not interested in going the route to, creating change in your body through healing, which is a possibility too, sessions, like energy work sessions, different things are available that can change stuff. Sometimes it's just doing some clearings and like becoming more aware that can change some stuff for you. If you're interested in that, you can contact me through my website, milicajelenic.com. So, and if you prefer to not go that route and you'd like to look at some like topical stuff, there are medications that are lubrications as well, and they're actually lubricants that have like lidocaine or benzocaine in them, which will start to reduce pain. So there are quite a few interesting things and options out there, and some of the ones that are used for anal sex will actually give a little numbing sensation as well, so that if your body, truly a lot of these are like, if your body's not ready for penetration, it's going to assist in getting it ready for penetration. So please ask the question first, body, do you actually desire penetration? And if it truly does, and it's just not showing you the signs, then using some of these other things may assist. I'd like to talk about all different kinds of other lubes, as well. And we're going to talk about more of those when we come back from this fantastical break.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that, when run, assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is the Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK or Canada 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and tonight our topic is oil, lube, and filter. How many of us have, gone our 5,000 miles and not had that oil, lube, and filter job? So would your body like that? So before break, we were just talking about natural lubrication and then started into some of the other alternate lubrications, supplemental lubrications. So I have some conscious questions for you guys when purchasing your lube, if you are going to go out and purchase it. So one of the things is they often don't have expiry dates on them, but I would go with the 1 year rule, which is most things that have anything natural in them will last a year, and that things that have more, I think something like silicone would last longer, as it's more of a non-natural occurring thing. So I would definitely ask a few questions. So one of them is, will this lube be comfortable for my body? Will my body enjoy this lube? And so asking that, and then you'll get a sense of yes or no, it will or won't enjoy this lube. Some of the lubes that I've purchased in my day have ranged anywhere from a $5 thing to a $45 for half an ounce. So some of them can be quite expensive. And you got to ask, it is your body. It is your vagina. It's your anus. It's his penis. You got to ask, will this be the greatest contribution to the most fun copulation so far, right? And so if it is, then is every penny worth it? For me, it is. So, I don't really think twice if I'm going to put $45 worth of lube into my vagina, and my vajayjay is all looked after and happy and smiling and dancing and stuff, right? It's just super happy. So I would rather just have my vajayjay super happy and not worry so much about the expense. So yeah, you've got one vajayjay in this lifetime. look after it. That's going to be my new motto. Guys, you have one vajayjay in this lifetime. Look after it. So the comfort level is one of the things. So you want to look at a few things. It's like, will it be, fun? Sometimes people would like it so that it also has some arousing stuff in it. And with this company that I recently joined, I've found out that there are ones that are for like enhancement for women and men. So it can enhance blood flow to the clitoris, can enhance blood flow to the penis for men. A lot of fun. So, if you're having some trouble getting aroused, or, your body is just like, not really responding, and you're like, and you've asked a million questions and your body really would like to respond, and now you've gone into judgment. And now you're like beating yourself up. If you really require something that'll start to get you out of judgment and just like have your body be aroused so that you'll stop judging it, using some things that can actually assist you to have a little enhancement might be some really cool tool to play with, a little enhancement stuff. So, if that's something you require and desire, go for it. So the comfort level is like, will your body like this? Because some lubes are actually quite irritating to the body. I've used some in the past that had spermicide in them, and my body was really aggravated by those in my 20s. I haven't used them since. And you can try and test them on your arm, but your arm is not your vagina. So just being aware of that. And some of the scented ones for people who have highly sensitive bodies to scent, which is really common right now, to be aware of that. If you have a partner or somebody that's new as a partner, before just sticking your lube on them, make sure that your lube works for them, because your lube might not work for them. It might be totally different. Their body might respond differently than other people's bodies have. And, girls, if you have a lube that you love and your body will enjoy a particular lube, what if you just bring it along with you or have it by the bedside ready to play? So, yeah, you can totally muscle test for them, and your body will know what it desires and requires. Like, hey, vagina, will this work for you? Yeah, and there is absolutely, your arm is not your test spot. So I did mention that, but you can test it on your body, but I would check it on your labia majora rather than your labia minora. Like, I would check it on somewhere that you're going to get a response, and I wouldn't rub it on the whole area. Just try like a size that's maybe the size of a Q-tip head, just to get what your body will like to have with that. And, your body might like it, but it might like it on somebody else's body. It might not even desire it on your body. So when your body says yes to the lube, then you can ask a few more questions like, body, would you like it on you? Your body might be like, no. It's like, okay, would your body like it on somebody else's body? Yes. Okay, cool. So then you can play with that too. So sometimes your body would like to just have the lube around for future play. You can always, have it so that you can have it for future play. So another thing to be aware of too is the safety of the lubes you're using. So there are lubes out there, like oil-based lubricants. They say, like research is saying, that oil-based lubricants cannot be used with condoms because they actually destroy them and they start to make them fail. So one of my favorite lubes that I've used in my life is a hemp-based lube. And no, you don't get high from it. It doesn't have THC in it. But that lube in particular, there's a lot of debate over it. Like, some reports say, yes, you can use hemp-based oil lubes with condoms, and some say, no, you can't. Use your awareness. What are you aware of? Ask that particular lube if it can be used with condoms, because some of them might be created differently than others. And then ask your body if it desires that even. So it might not. So water-based lubes in general are made with glycerin for the most part. There are ones that are non-glycerin, but the ones that are made with glycerin are the ones that are most commonly sold. Can I say the ones more often in that sentence? The ones that are most commonly the ones sold. There we go. I just added one of those to it. Then they also can produce a slightly sweet taste. I've noticed that some water-based lubes do have like a bit of an aftertaste. So if you can test them, say if you're somewhere and there is testing available, some sex shops will have it. I know that I have testers available with the stuff that I sell, so you can test it. That I would particularly test on my hand if you're going to use it as something that is, say, for oral sex and you want to see if you like the taste of it. I'd put that on a hand and then lick it, because I have found that the aftertaste of some of them is a right turn off for me. Like my body's just like, ooh, I don't like that. And then I kind of got to go with like, okay, body, like let's get back on track here. We were really turned on. This is really fun. Then I just ate this lube that went bleh and yuck. So and some of the flavored ones have like way too much candy flavor in them, or fake fruity flavor, or so some of them you got to check what works for you, what you enjoy. So yeah, please check them if you can test them first. Spending like $20 or $30 on a lube that you use once, when it's really just a lube that's meant for more fun and play, instead of getting discouraged and like pissed off and never trying another one again, please test them out. That's what they're usually out there for you to test out. So a lot of those flavored ones and warming ones do contain glycerin. Glycerin essentially is just this thing that is put into soap. So no, pretty much it's like having this, don't use soap as a lubricant, but it is commonly used in creating soaps. So there you go. That was a little side note for no particular reason. And also, water-based, one of the things that I kind of am like about water-based lubes is that they tend to get really sticky and dry quite easily. And then it's just kind of like as if I have chapped vagina. I don't know how to describe it, but it's kind of like this chapped, sticky vagina feeling where it's like if I have maybe a silicone or a hemp-based one, I don't have that so much. So the chapped vagina thing is kind of like, when they're talking a lot or working a lot and you get that dry mouth with like kind of like, why do I have this like white foamy thing at the side of my mouth, like dry pasty thing going on? Yeah, the vagina gets the dry pasty thing when the lube is not quite on the mark for you. So water-based lubes will get tacky sooner than silicone-based lubes. So if you're somebody who's going to have like going to have a quickie, it's going to be just kind of fun quickie, go for a water-based lube. It's actually going to be, it's nice for kind of a short play, not as great for a long play. I've found. Some of this is my own opinion, guys, but go play and find out for yourself. So, for me, what I found is like, even if I get super dehydrated, like the lubrication level will go down in my body, and then my body will just be like sucking up the lube. So, you can definitely like have some water handy. I like to have water handy as much as I possibly can, like a glass of water, wherever it is that I'm like rocking and rolling, unless it's like, in my field and I don't happen to have water in that, time frame. So that you can either, if you are getting that sticky tacky feeling, you can just like either put a little in your mouth and like, okay, this might gross you guys out, but you can put a little in your mouth, kind of like put it on your hand, because it warms it up then, you know what I'm saying? So you get the body temperature. So I'd put it in my mouth, warm it up, then put it on the penis. I wouldn't want to freak the penis out with cool water. Even if it's sitting on your side table in room temperature, is going to be cooler than it being inside your body. So I kind of warm it up a bit and then like use it on the penis. Or saliva is, saliva is a pretty commonly used lubricant, guys, right? Don't freak the penis out. So, penises sometimes really like to have saliva. It's kind of like they are like super happy, whether it's through oral sex or just like, going to have like vaginal penetration. That penis sometimes is like, I'm going to have me some saliva today, and it's like, woohoo, and penis is all happy with saliva. So that's one of my favorite lubes, because it actually lubricates my body to lubricate a penis with saliva, and then my body's like turned on, that body's all slippery and wet. It's all good. There's so many, and vulvas can be happy with saliva too. I think saliva is overall, like, next to your own personal natural lubricant, saliva is number one next in line, and then number two would be, for me, hemp, and number three would be silicone, number four would be water, and number five would be other oil-based things like avocado oil, for example. But we'll get to that. That's my order of joy and fun for lubrication. I've not tried the kind with that numbs you. I've not had the desire to be numbed. I like to feel things. So if I ever was in a place where I required that, for people who've had surgery and stuff and their body hurts, but they would still like to maintain a sex life and they require some numbing stuff because of pain, go for it. Whatever makes your body happy, choose it. So some of the cons, though, for them, like I was saying, is that, they don't last as long as, so the water-based ones don't last as long as silicone, but the water-based with glycerin last longer than the water-based ones without glycerin. And they're all relatively affordable. So the ones without glycerin are pretty darn good for things like anal sex. So also really great for people who have recurrent things like yeast infections, UTIs, that kind of thing. So they're a lot more easy for women who do have kind of some issues. They're also, you can get them paraben free, which is a bonus, because a lot of the water-based ones have parabens in them. So if that's something that you're aware of in your body, you're choosing not to have that in your body, or your body's not choosing to have parabens, then you can actually get a paraben-free Astroglide out there, which you can probably get at your local drugstore. There's another one called Liquid Silk, and I've got one available that's called Booty Ease. So that one's really great for anal sex, and it can be a lot of fun. And they are all of those water-based ones are safe for condoms, so that's a bonus too. So silicone lubes, you don't see them a lot. You usually have to go to kind of, you're not going to find them in your grocery store or your pharmacy or something like that. Those are usually water-based ones. In order to get some of the more sophisticated ones, you're going to want to go to like an online sex store. You can go to my online sex store, or you can go to, say, for example, your local sex shop, where they're going to have a variety of different kinds of lubes, and you can always ask the person behind the counter for one that is silicone-based. They do last longer, and they're really great for women who have chronic dryness. So, whether that's due to hormones or, distaste in your partner, so your body turned into the Sahara, whatever it happens to be, awareness comes first, lube comes second. That's my new motto. So awareness first, lube second. And I'm laughing at myself because I think that was funny. So that was really funny in my head, and I'm still thinking about it. So yeah, for women with chronic dryness, really consider using something like silicone, because it's going to be way more fun for your body. And it's a different kind of silicone than they used in breast implants, which people are warning, don't use those. But there are new silicones out there that are medical grade. They're safe. They don't leak. They're not absorbable by the pores. Your pores won't they cannot penetrate your pores. So, and they're most of them are hypoallergenic, which is a bonus as well. And yeah, so you can look for there's some really great silicone lubes out there. One's called Pure Pleasure, and it's for prolonged sexual activity. And you can also use it for things like water play and anal play. So yeah, there are also lots of things when you're using water play, like you can use it along with toys that are water friendly. So there are water friendly toys available now on the market as well. So guys, I'm like almost running out of time here. I couldn't imagine I could talk about lube for so long. This is amazing. And when we come back, I'd like to talk to you guys about a little bit more about silicone lubes and oil-based lubes, and then I'll see how much time I have left to talk about everything else under the sun. So we're going to head to break, and when we come back, a little more lubrication. Stay slippery.
Many of us have created a lot of limitations around sex and what we are willing to choose. Would you be willing to explore what has already been introduced as sexual practices on this planet? What else is possible beyond what we have already seen, heard, or thought of? What if now is the time for a totally different sexual revolution? Taking the taboo out of all aspects of sex, sexuality, and copulation. By tuning into the Pleasure Zone radio show with body whisperer Milica Jelenic, you'll receive tools, inspiration, and a foundation to allow yourself to receive more in your sex life, and quite possibly other areas of your life as well. Listen for The Pleasure Zone with Milica every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Time on a2zen.fm.
What if you really do change molecules by your interaction with them? What if the change you've been looking for is right before your eyes? What if the uncomfortableness that comes with difference could be fun? What if the closed-minded people of the world no longer determined our world? What if gratitude trumps judgment every time? What if your kindness healed the world? What if the earth is asking for your help? And what if you had the resources to give it? This is your invitation to step into something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Picasso, Da Vinci, Shakespeare, Aristotle all knew to be true. Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. What if there are no dumb questions? Or any question too large? What if you being you are the gift and the change this world requires? Is now the time? For more questions to create a change in your world, sign up for a free video series at beingyouclass.com. My gift to you, beingyouclass.com.
This is The Pleasure Zone with body whisperer Milica Jelenic. To participate in the program today, please call us in the U.S. Call 815-880-8255-TALK. Or Canada, 613-800-8736. Or you can Skype us at a2zen.fm. You can also make the choice to ask for comment by email by sending to Milica at milicajelenic.com. Now, back to the program.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to The Pleasure Zone. I'm your host, Milica Jelenic, and tonight our topic is oil, lube, and filter. And I'm having a lot of fun, checking out all kinds of different lubes that are on the market, and I've tried a few different ones over the years, and I'm trying a few more that I recently acquired. So I'm having a lot of fun with those, and so a lot of this is information, but a lot of this is also my personal opinion. So I encourage you to go play and see what lubes work for you. When I say to you the oil-based lubes will, destroy condoms, that's actually just information I've read. That's not my point of view. It's just information that's been out there that is kind of being propagated by all medical people. So I just take it and see if that information works for you. Okay, so one of the things when we left for break, we were talking about silicone lubes, which I'm a big fan of because, you can use them for anal play, water play, and, if you're going to have, an all-nighter, like sex for more than 20 minutes, say, then it's great for prolonged sexual activity because it just stays nice and slippery, really great for that. And you don't get the tackiness so much, so it's well worth the money for the investment for that. So there are, and one of the things that they say are things that are not so great about silicone lubes, and I didn't know this, but they're saying that a lot of them can't be used with silicone or cyberskin sex toys. And some of the greatest sex toys out on the market right now, some of the most fun ones that are submersible in water, that are, rechargeable, that are really great quality, that feel super soft, silky, and they have all kinds of flexibility to them, and they have all kinds of fun with them. A lot of those ones are medical grade silicone, or they're also food grade silicone. So they're really high quality silicone. And what the reports are saying is that using silicone lube with them is a no-no. However, I do know of a silicone lube that is great with bedroom toys, and it's called Simply Silk. So if that's something that you would like and you'd like to have Simply Silk, that's great. Let me know. I can tell you where to find it. So the thing about the silicone lubes is that they sometimes when you use too much, they kind of just go everywhere. They're not going to stain your sheets, though. Just like water-based lubes, they're not going to stain your sheets. They're usually color-free, which is a bonus. So they're not going to stain things. You're not going to get a big problem going on. So enjoy those because they can be a lot of fun. So if you do have extra of like a silicone lube on your body, they don't just wipe off as easily, so you're going to need to use like soap and water to get them off if you're using too much. So I have a few seconds here left, about 3 minutes left, to talk to you guys about oil-based lubes. So like I've mentioned a few times, it's been pretty well chronicled in with science-based stuff that they do destroy latex condoms, so being aware of that. Oil-based lubes can be great. If you can go bareback and, if you've got one lover and you guys know what you're doing and your bodies are healthy and happy and you've asked a lot of questions and your bodies are like, yes, oil-based lube for us. So, and your body's enjoying it because they're really affordable and you can get some really cool things with oil-based lubes. Like there's ones that are like kind of like creams and they more kind of like keep the moisture in, and they're just lovely, and you end up with like soft skin, like a really soft penis after giving a nice hand job. It's like, wow, isn't that beautiful? It's a beautiful thing. So I think it's a beautiful thing. So one of the general rules with oil-based lubes is if you can stick it in your mouth, you can stick it in your vagina. Now, I don't know so much about that because there are oils I would stick in my mouth that have hot chilies in them. I would not stick them in my vagina, just saying. So that is what some people's rule is, and then you're going to find the people who are like, well, I stick hot chili oil in my mouth, and so why can't I stick it in my vagina? All right, if you're into that kind of thing, go for it. If you're okay with having your vagina like getting burning sensations and tears running down your face, absolutely, I wouldn't stop you. However, use your awareness. So the bonus about those oil-based ones that are natural is that they're easily cleaned out of your body. There's a bunch, too, that are synthetic oil-based things, like, the old school stuff. We're talking about Vaseline and things like that. And so those are oils, but they also have other stuff added to them, like petroleum, like those are petroleum oils, and they have other additions to them that don't clean out of the body as easily. They are really affordable, and they're great for like external masturbation, but I really wouldn't use them for penetration as much because they can really irritate the vulva a lot. And again, they destroy condoms, and they often stain sheets. So even if they don't have color to them, they can stain sheets. Like I was telling you guys, one of my favorites is hemp lubes. And I just really love them. They nourish your skin. There's a lot of misinformation or information out there. Use your awareness and ask your body questions and play with it and see what your body likes when it gets slippery when wet and if it requires anything and desires anything. Because how lucky are we to live on a planet that we have a lot of choices for our bodies and we can ask our bodies all kinds of questions, to have even more fun, to have even more play, to have even more expansiveness. So I'm really grateful for all you guys listening tonight to Oil, Lube, and Filter, and I look forward to having you on next week.
Thank you for choosing to listen to The Pleasure Zone. Milica Jelenic will return next Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific on a2zen.fm. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have the best week of your life by choosing to be turned on and tuned in to your body.